You can't glamour a cock.
No. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Carl Mizell.
And this is a podcast that is always here to make it weird. How are you, honey?
Ready to get weird.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm so ready to get weird. I'm not wearing pants.
No, you're not.
I haven't been wearing them all day. I've been walking around the house in a hoodie and no pants like your hot mom. Because that's what I am. I'm just a hot mom.
Well, you're my hot wife.
Yeah. Well, you're not your mother specifically.
No, but you have been rocking this very adorable skeleton hoodie.
Yep.
Skeleton print hoodie. It's got like the ribs and the shoulders on the front and the arm
Yep.
bones down the side, and just the cutest little black panties.
I
I just love it. And
it also glows in the dark, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
The skeleton part.
I
Not
was
the
going to say
panties
the
part.
panties part. No, I mean, hey, that's one of the joys of stay-at-home parenthood. You didn't have anywhere to go.
Nope.
No errands to run. Anything to do today.
Nope.
The toddler runs around fully nude.
Yes.
So if she can do it,
Yeah.
why can't you?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you walk in front of the window a lot more. Plus, you're a lot taller than she is. So
I mean, I wouldn't run around fully nude, mostly because I feel exposed and I get a little chilly.
Yeah.
But who needs pants if you don't have to go anywhere? Who needs pants?
Oh God,
Not
no.
me.
No, I mean, I feel like we were vanguards in as much as that. Even before the pandemic, we were like, fuck normal pants.
Yeah.
We were anti jeans and normal pants well before the pandemic.
Yep.
Like, made everybody, dress differently. Now everybody's like, oh, it's another thing millennials ruined or whatever.
I remember there was a period of our lives where like each of us would come home from our respective jobs and just like take off our pants.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to be wearing them anymore. And then we just plopped down on our couch. That must have been when we had the dual TV set up because we would play games.
Yep.
I would play games and you would play games, and we had two separate TVs in our living room.
Yep. That was when we lived over in downtown Flint.
Yeah. God, what a time to be alive. Our late 20s, no kids, no responsibilities, no money.
God. That's why we're recording this a day early. Tomorrow you'll be taking the kids over to your parents' house because the next day we'll be celebrating your family's Christmas party, and that's like, I consider that one small part of my gift. Even though I'm staying here to basically keep an eye on the dog, so we don't have to board him.
Yeah.
But just a couple of uninterrupted hours of silence.
Yes.
Is part of my
part
of my Christmas present.
Merry Christmas. You don't have to deal with our children from the hours of like 4 p.m. till noon the next day.
Yeah. I'm so scattershot right now. I don't even remember what preceded that part of the sentence.
I am. We were talking about being young and having.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Yes, thank you.
Pants.
Yeah, it feels like I'm cosplaying as that version of myself, for just a couple of hours.
Oh yeah, the version that didn't have.
Yeah. But in this version, instead of staying up until almost 3 a.m. playing video games, I stay up until about 10 playing video games, and then I turn on YouTube and I pass out in my chair.
You doze. Yep.
And then I do this like
yep.
And I look at my watch and it's 2 a.m. and the dog's like, fuck, man, I had to shit, so I'm real sorry about that. I tried to get as close to the door as possible.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's fantastic. Well, Merry Christmas to you then. That's one of your gifts.
I really appreciate it.
A short amount of time without children in the home.
Oh, yeah. If even just a couple of hours. How are you?
I'm so good, dude. I'm so good.
Did you like those cupcakes I brought home?
I did. You brought home cupcakes. They were delicious. I had a carrot cake one, and I just like shoved that whole thing.
Yep.
Right in. It was so good.
If you're ever around the Lansing area, I highly recommend you go to Bacon Cakes.
Bacon Cakes. Yeah, those are really, really good. But otherwise, I'm great. I mean, this podcast came together on the fly. Obviously, we've been making it for months and months. But we were just like, oh shit, if we were going to go to your parents' house on Friday, then we need to record on Thursday. And Thursday is usually the day I read my shorter books.
Yeah.
And then I have Friday to like get my thoughts together and do my notes. Nope. All in one day, baby. I just sat down. I was like, it's time to read this book.
Listen, there are 3 college degrees between the two of us. You have 2 of them.
Yes, I do.
I have 1 of them. You don't get 1 degree, let alone 2, if you aren't really good at putting some really excellent shit together in a short amount of time.
Oh, fuck yes. I'm so good at cramming. You have no idea. I slipped right back into it. I was like, okay, we got to get this done. It's got to be done by this evening. It's not even that many pages. And all it is a short book report. This is fine.
Yeah.
I slipped right back into grad school mode.
I was going to say, it wasn't like you were writing, a 30-page paper or, an entire play.
Yes, which I did that one time, write that play.
Yeah.
And several shorts and a one act.
Yeah.
And a 35-page paper.
That I had to recover. You had
yes.
that on that
tablet?
My
God. I thought I was going to throw up.
Oh.
It was one of my final project for a class in grad school. I had to write a 35-page paper. It was an analysis of...
It was something for Dr. Freeze.
It was for Dr. F. So it was like theater history. And I chose Homecoming.
Yeah.
Which is one of the 3 parts of the Electrocycle, I think. 35 pages. And I was about 12 to 15 pages in, maybe more, when it just disappeared off my computer. And I thought I was going to die because the computer had died while I was working on it.
Yeah.
And it didn't autosave. But you managed to recover it and save my whole fucking life.
That was the closest I ever felt to being like a computer genius.
Yeah.
Because I had to go through like every try to restore every file, and they had all those 47 alpha, 47 digit long alphanumeric, names, because it hadn't been named or something. It was just like a recovered file. Anyway, we're belaboring the point. That's not why you're here. You're here to hear about horny people doing horny things and the weirdest of the weird dicks. And if your giggles and chortles and TikToks are any indication, we're about to get all of that and then some. So
it's gonna get weird.
What is on the docket for this week's episode for the Horny Holidays?
This week for the Horny Holidays, I read Birched by the Krampus by Siggy Shade.
Oh, that's right. That very semantically satiating.
Yeah.
Birched by... What is birched even? Is it just supposed to be a euphemism?
No. Birching is when you get hit with birch rods.
Oh.
Yeah, when you get beat with birch rods.
Well, I just learned something new.
Yes, you did.
So teach me more.
Okay.
Smut Sherpa.
Gladly. Well, for starters, this book is $3.99 or available through Kindle Unlimited. It is 153 pages long. It is one of several Siggy Shade books about creatures that are holiday related who do a lot of fucking.
Yeah, I was doing some research today. I'd never heard of Siggy Shade. I didn't know anything about them. I went looking.
Yep.
There's very minimal online presence as far as I could tell.
Yeah. We follow them on TikTok now, but...
Okay. And I even went to look to TikTok.
They don't make content. They're just there.
Okay. And that's why I couldn't tell. I didn't know who they are.
I don't know anything about them at all, except that they write books about holiday monsters who fuck.
All right. Well, let's get after it.
Let's get after it. I mean, I guess, first of all, what do you know about the Krampus? Do you know,
I just know that it's some sort of mythical, Christmas creature. That's really all I know. I think is it sort of like Scandinavian?
Yeah.
Okay. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So I was researching very lightly into the Krampus today to get a little bit of information. And this is what I found. Like I said, on the briefest of Google skims, nobody come for me. I'm not a scholar.
This is not a research heavy podcast.
No, absolutely not. So there is some evidence to suggest that some version of the Krampus has been around since even before St. Nicholas, since before Christianity came to the Scandinavian area. But basically now what he is a goat man who punishes naughty children on Christmas.
Okay.
He comes to your house and he either beats you with birch rods that he carries in this big wicker basket that he carries strapped to his back, and he beats you for your sins basically, or he kidnaps you in that big wicker basket and he takes you to hell.
Oh.
And that's what happens to naughty children in Scandinavia at Christmas time, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Talk about being born in the wrong place.
Yeah. So now, he's a beloved part of the cultural traditions of Christmas, and they do Krampus runs where people dress up like devils and get drunk and run through the streets and scare people and stuff. It sounds like a lot of fun, but it's now part of the, if not commercialized, then at least sanitized version of the Christmas or of the mythology that it came from.
Right.
And there's a lot of Krampus porn on the internet. I also found that today when I was Googling.
Wow.
Because I got into Kindle Unlimited. I got into Kindle just to look up the book so that I could see how much it cost.
Yeah.
To put it in my notes, and I just put Krampus, thinking, oh, it'll just pull it up. No, there's so much Krampus porn. There's so much Krampus porn. People are really into it. It's probably not an equal amount, but there's a lot more than I expected. And I was going to say an equal amount as Santa porn, because there's also a shit ton of Santa porn.
Oh, that tracks.
I didn't do one for the show this year, but I've read a lot of Santa porn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, are you kidding me? So many puns and jokes to make about his sack.
Oh, God, yes.
You know?
Absolutely. The reimaginings are always interesting.
His throbbing candy cane.
Yep. His throbbing candy cane. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Comes hot chocolate.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Or peppermint schnapps.
Don't do it.
I did it.
All right.
Oh, we're about to talk about some of the weirdest dick stuff we've gotten on the show yet.
Candy cane cock.
Don't tell
just
me.
One of them. Just one of them.
Tell me. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
Anyway.
All right. So let's get into this. Our content warnings for this week are dubious consent, monster romance, creative anatomy, violence, and gore. And our sexual content is bondage and corporal punishment, impact play and pain play, size kink, fellatio kink, and use of the superlatives sir and good girl. Noted. Let's begin. So our MMC this week is the Krampus.
You may have heard of him.
You may have heard of him. I did just give us a little crash course on him. In Siggy Shade's version of the Krampus myth, Krampus is a 7-foot-tall goat man with amber eyes and amber fur.
Is he hot?
Somehow.
I mean, I've seen some like wood carvings and whatnot. I've never looked at any image of the Krampus and went,
no, neither have I. Because to me, he reminds me of like the there's like in Cuphead, like the shaggy fur guy with the horns.
Yeah.
That's what I think of when I think of the Krampus.
Yeah.
I don't think of him as being attractive in any way, but this guy apparently is. So, like I said, he has amber eyes and amber fur. In this case, I'm guessing it's some sort of like dirty blonde color.
Yeah.
In terms of his fur. And he is covered in fur, but I'm not exactly sure how much of his body is covered in fur, because while it is often indicated that he is very furry, you can also see his abs.
You got to. even Crampi can be book boyfriends.
Yes. But his dick is internal.
Oh.
Like a goat dick.
Yeah.
He has horns.
Okay.
Little like short pointy ones, fangs, like very sharp teeth, goat eyes, and Carl, he has clip clop hooves. Finally, I got my clip clop hooves.
Got your clip clop hooves.
I love it so much. So he has what do you call them?
Cloven
hooves.
Yeah.
He has cloven hooves at the end of his goat legs.
Can't sneak up on anybody.
He's clip clopping everywhere he fucking goes, man. I can't tell you how excited I was when I saw that on page 1. I was like, hooves? I almost turned to you and was like, Carl, he's got hooves. But I was holding it in all day because of this moment on the show.
Like Annie Potts in Ghostbusters.
I got one. Exactly.
We got hooves.
I got hooves. So, yes, he has hooves. So, fucking, my notes, cloven hooves, baby, let's go. Oh, my God. Okay.
Hoof gang, rise up.
Yep. So, Krampus is the brother of Santa Claus, who has been imprisoned in the dungeon underneath Santa Claus's house for the last 90 years.
Under the house or under the sex dungeon in Santa's house?
Under the house.
Because everybody knows there's house, dungeon, sex dungeon.
Oh.
But then there's another sub-dungeon under the Santa sex dungeon.
Yeah, no, just the regular dungeon.
Oh, okay.
Which
I mean, that's how I was taught.
Is
about Santa
worse
by my
because
mom.
then...
Guys, my mom died almost 7 years ago.
Oh.
Leave that poor woman alone.
R.I.P. Tina.
Don't come for her. Also, I'm full of shit. She didn't do that. Anyway, so he's Santa's basement.
He's been in Santa's basement for a long time. Okay? Krampus.
Okay.
Yes, he's been imprisoned for 90 years. At the start of the book, though, Santa is releasing Krampus from his prison to return to his work, punishing naughty children. Because not punishing naughty children for the last 90 years has made wicked adults. And so he's giving up.
Is that Is that
Krampus needs to go back to work.
That's as good of an explanation as I've heard.
Yes. If this were our world, then yes.
It would make total sense.
It would make total sense. The Krampus has been imprisoned by Santa Claus, and if we release him, maybe a lot of shit would stop happening.
Free Krampus.
Hashtag free Krampus.
Yep.
So Krampus leaves the cell, calls his magical flying moose Bardolph.
Of course.
And flies to his first target, Natalia Jasper. Natalia is our FMC. She is petite, beautiful, and a very powerful witch who practices tech magic, which is like a combination of traditional magic and technology. Like when she needs to like set off a ward in her house, she uses her phone.
That's sick as fuck.
Yeah, right? I love it when they combine it doesn't happen a lot, but I love it when paranormal combines modern technology. It's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super cool. But I guess from the way it's described in the book, though, it's not focused on that much. It's sort of like being an IT witch. So like she works from home.
Oh, it's the best. Doesn't have to wear pants.
Yeah. And she like got her certification online.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just been living in an attic doing her shit. Yeah.
Fuck. Sounds great.
She's a tech witch. Anyway, so she is at the start of the book about to give a blowjob to a guy named Stan that she met on a dating website.
Good for you, Stan.
Yeah, and she's on her knees, and she's willing to forgive the fact that he doesn't look like his pictures because he's a warlock, and we all know they use glamours to make themselves look better, etc. But then she unzips his pants, and his dick comes out, and it is nothing like the dick from the dick pics because the dick in the dick pics was gigantic, and this is like a little thing.
Okay, you can only get away with so much.
Yeah. So she gets mad because he has what she calls dickfished her.
Yeah.
He dickfished her.
Now, there's nothing wrong with having a small penis.
No.
But you shouldn't lie about the size of your penis one way or another.
No.
You should just be... that's a bad foot to get off on in a relationship.
Well, lying in the beginning of a relationship at all is really a bad foot to get off on. But particularly about something that is going to get found out almost immediately if you're lucky.
You can't glamour a cock.
No, you absolutely can't.
No.
So his dick is small, and she is mad. She has been lied to, and also she has a size kink, and she's just been begging the universe for a huge cock, and she thought she was going to get it tonight, but she didn't, and now she's mad about it. So she kicks his ass out through the chimney. Like she just sort of flicks him away. And like as he's leaving, he like is threatening to curse her if she doesn't pay him back for the date. He like Venmos her immediately a request for the date plus like pain and suffering, like damages, because he didn't get his cock sucked. Oh, you poor baby.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, ow.
Go stomp on a skateboard and throw a cell phone.
Seriously, fucking tool.
Shout out, Vine.
Absolutely. Love you. Miss you, babe. What a time to be alive. So immediately after she kicks Stan out through her chimney, the Krampus then comes down her chimney. Like immediately after. It's like one thing to another.
Wow.
Holy Moses. And he is immediately trapped in her protection wards. But he is also a god. So like her wards grab him up, but they don't hold him. He just breaks right out of them and comes right toward her. And he's like, I'm looking for Natalia Jasper. And she's like, that's me. But you're not a child. He was expecting to be punishing a naughty child today, not face down with like an incredibly hot woman.
Yeah.
But she's still on the list. So
that's a paddling.
Needs
that's
needs
a birchin'.
must.
Yep.
That's a birchin'. And that's so she's staring up at him, like asking what she can do to spare his wrath, and he's like, not much, babe. And he pushes her down face down across a desk and chains her there, ass in the air for her punishment. So this is some dubious consent stuff. But again, he is at this point doing his job. He is punishing the wicked.
Yeah.
It just so happens to also make him super horny.
Yeah, I get it.
He beats her with birch rods until her ass is just like welted and bruised and red. But luckily, and little does he know, she is super into it.
You know, that's a joke that is made frequently, like, you know, sometimes when people make a joke like, I'll kick your ass, probably like it.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Exactly. she's loving it. So she's
Stop liking this.
She's 21 years old, but she, at least from her internal monologue, is very well informed and knows about all of this. She knows about BDSM. She knows about pain play. She knows about safe words. So it's not like we're going into this completely naive, but it is still dubious consent.
Yeah.
So he beats her until he thinks that she's done. Like, he thinks that he's good. And she starts begging for more. She is so turned on by all of this. And he looks down and her name is still highlighted in red on the naughty list. So obviously he's not done with her yet. He starts talking to her a little bit and she mentions BDSM to him. And he's never heard of that. I mean, I guess as a concept,
right,
modern BDSM wasn't around 90 years ago when he was imprisoned. So
not the BDSM we've come to know and love.
No, not the modern version of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Marquis de Sade was out there long before us.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so they're talking about it, and he's like, "Well, what would happen next in a BDSM scene then?" And she's like, "Well, you would fuck me, or I could suck your dick." And you would do that for me? So yeah, she's gonna suck his dick now, and Krampus has a weird dick and it's shaped like a stocking. I'm not fucking kidding you. It's shaped like a stocking. Okay, so it's huge.
Yeah.
And it 2/3 of the way down, it bends downward into the toe shape.
Yeah.
And then and it's rigidly like that.
It'd be better if the toe was pointing up.
You would think, well, if you're talking about G-spot stimulation, yes.
Well, I mean, you can just flip her over.
Yeah, but it would make it more difficult to insert.
Yeah, that's true.
That way. At least when it points down, you can sort of lift it.
We
all understand dick physics. I don't need to really get into it. But
no. So yeah, PhD in dick physics.
I do not have a PhD because I couldn't get a fellowship and I couldn't afford to take out the loan. Anyway, but yes, I have a master's in dick physics. And
yeah.
I'm so well respected in my field, okay?
Yeah, you are.
and I can tell you, as a dick expert, no, that's not right. As a dick scholar.
I was going to say, listeners, we're learning about this in real time together. I'm kidding.
I could tell you as a dick scholar that this is a weird fucking dick, is what I was trying to get at that whole time.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, good. Okay, so he puts this dick in her mouth, and
some fucking how,
right? And she is thrilled by this. She loves it. Again, she is a size queen. She has a size kink, and she at one point in the book even says a dick's not worth sucking unless it's huge. So I guess it's just not worth it to her unless it's gigantic. So she's super happy to be doing this, and he is very pleased with her work until eventually he fucks her face until he comes down her throat and it's overflowing down her chin and stuff. And number one, it is even mentioned in the book that if she were not a witch, this would have killed her.
Yeah.
And two, his cum tastes like eggnog.
Come on.
I know. I tried so hard not to laugh earlier when you were talking about candy cane dicks and hot chocolate cum because I got stocking dicks and eggnog cum coming your way.
That happened before the episode truly started.
Yeah.
Or did it?
No, it started. It started.
Right.
They were all here for all of it.
I'm so frazzled.
I'm sorry, baby doll. It'll be okay.
I don't know why.
I don't either. Our life is great, dude.
It was a great day, great life. I think it's just the ADHD. Because I'm over here just trying to figure out the physics of how a stocking cock goes in a normal human-sized mouth.
Oh, I have no idea. But she managed it and she loved it.
Yeah, like a fucking champ.
Yes, absolutely. So Krampus wants to have sex with her at this point, but he is intensely aware that in his past as an old god, because he's been around for forever, that human sacrifices would be made to him every year in exchange for a good harvest, and they would get one night of pleasure, but they would never survive. And he doesn't want to kill her. So he picks her up. Instead, he picks her up and he puts her on top of the mantle, and he eats her out on top of the mantle. So what he tells her is that if she can survive 2 hours with him, that he will cross her name off of the naughty list. We were buying our freedom from the naughty list.
There's a.
It doesn't matter. She would stick around for the beating.
Oh yeah, no. What we've learned about her so far.
Yes.
Yeah, there's definitely you've heard of Elf on the Shelf. Now get ready for a joke here somewhere.
Yeah.
But Natalia is such a
mantle. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll think of something later. I'll just edit it in right here.
We'll try to think about it. But anyway, yeah. So he sits her on the mantle and he eats her out, and he has this tongue. Have you seen any pictures of the Krampus? Like,
I mean, I think he has like a forked tongue.
Yeah. And it's like super long and it hangs down. So he has this crazy tongue that is, forked. He has a bifurcated tongue, though we don't find that out until later in the book, but it is bifurcated. And also, like, it gets bigger when it needs to get bigger, and it's super, super long, like the demon tongue from Till Death Do Us Part. Mm-hmm. And it's like prehensile. He moves it all over the place, all over her body. It's fucking crazy. But anyway, so
I don't know.
This is
That's not.
I know. But you got to go with it.
Yeah, okay.
You got to go with it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Just the idea of a tongue that gets bigger.
So he eats her out, and she comes so hard and so fast that she clenches down, and it actually scares her. Like the depth of the orgasm scares her. And she clenches down so tight that he can't get his tongue back. He's like stuck in there. And then he like wiggles it around a little and gets another one out of her, and she clenches down again. And like he's talking to her through some of this, and that made me laugh so hard because I can imagine what it would sound like. It was a lot of like, you can take it, you're doing such a good job. Like you could take it. Come for me, baby. I can't. I'm sure it worked out just fine because he's a magical god. But I just couldn't think of anything but somebody mumbling around a big fat tongue. And
any opportunity I get on this show to pretend that I'm talking while my mouth is otherwise occupied, I will always take it.
Okay, we'll try to offer you those opportunities as often as possible.
Yeah, try to search for that on Amazon.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Go deep dive on Goodreads.
Yep, books where somebody talks while their mouth is busy.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Doesn't matter.
I'll figure it out for you.
Doesn't matter what's in there.
So once they're finished with all of that, he picks her up off of the mantle and lays her down across the rug and tells her that he wants her to come again, but this time he wants her to squirt. And she's like, fucking okay, Super Chief. I'm not gonna what? No thanks.
Come again in this economy?
In esta economía. Yeah, no. So she lays back and is like, bring it on, Captain. But then she immediately, so he bends down to get started, and then some sort of like dark magic worms its way down her chimney and snatches her up and just takes her. Just pulls her back right out of the chimney and takes her away.
This better not be Stan cock blocking her.
It's fucking Stan.
That motherfucker.
I know, right? So
I guess that's more of a clam jam.
Yes, right. So initially, Krampus thinks that this was all like some elaborate ruse to get away from him. Like she just, yeah, sure, I'll come all over your face a bunch of times just until I can get away.
I had him right where I wanted him, Stan. My elaborate plan was almost complete.
My elaborate plan of escape. It did involve 3 orgasms, Stan. I don't know why I have to keep explaining this to you.
First, I had to nearly choke to death on his cum. Then he had to eat me out on the mantle multiple times. Then he had to fuck me on the carpet. Then...
And then 75 years later, after all of our children are finally grown and have grandchildren of their own, I'll just walk out the front door.
Yeah. And by that point, I hope you're dead, Stan.
Fuck you, Stan, and your little dick.
Anywho.
So Krampus thinks that she has escaped somehow. So he calls Bardolph, who like bashes his way into the building. Like there's a hole in the side of the building from where this guy.
Hole.
So he is an 8-foot tall moose with nearly as wide of antlers. So he's just like this massive moose, and he just wrecking balls his way into whatever building she's living in.
I was going to say her house is down a wall now.
She lives in an attic.
Oh, an attic. Yeah,
like
so
an
whatever,
apartment in an attic. So her super's going to be pissed. I tell you that much right now.
Not getting your security deposit back.
He tries to get out the front door, and he can't because now her wards are keeping him inside of the apartment. So him and, I can't say it right the first time ever, Bardolph him and Bardolph each bash on the door from opposite sides until they can break the wards down and get him out of there. So it took a god and a giant magical reindeer to bust down the door to this apartment.
Well, if he wasn't all weak from the orgasm,
Right.
he'd probably been able to do it himself.
Seriously. He hops on Bardolph's back and they fly around until they find a shed, and they go inside this shed, and Stan is in there and he is torturing Natalia with necromantic magic. So Stan is going off about like how he's sick of witches being mean to him about his tiny dick. Like, that's basically all it is. Like, I'm just so sick of getting this, and then you just laugh at me because it's...
Bro, it's not the dick. It's the line about the dick.
Yeah.
Own that shit.
It's fine. Get really, really good at doing other stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need your dick for that much, man. I mean, it's good to have for stuff, but you don't need it.
No. You look, a lot of length on a long cock is going to waste. The most sensitive parts are right there in the front.
Exactly. Stan, you're going to be just fine, my dude. You don't have to kidnap and torture women.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Have you considered instead therapy?
Try therapy.
Well, it's too late for Stan, but maybe somebody else can consider something else, because Stan has pissed off the Krampus, and now the Krampus is here. So Krampus breaks down the door, and he just absolutely thrashes Stan. Like, he picks him up and shakes him around and beats him to a pulp before using his very special magic that only works on Christmas Eve to open a rift between the worlds and send Stan directly to hell.
Oh, how convenient.
So convenient. Again, it only works on Christmas Eve.
It's like a HOV lane on the expressway.
Yeah. Exactly. So he sends Stan to hell, and he gets Natalie's blessing to send Stan to hell. She's like, yeah, I think I'm good. Take him to hell. And then once Stan is gone, the Krampus apologizes for letting harm come to her while she was in his care. It's very sweet. And she says that it's okay, but that she does like that he came for her because no one has ever fought her battles for her before. And that's very touching to her. So he demands the names of anyone else who has ever broken her heart or hurt her feelings so that he can send them all to hell. Guy, go to therapy.
Yeah.
Go to God therapy? Krampus therapy.
Krampus just white knighting his way across the nation. Remember that time you catcalled Natalia? Burn in hell.
Burn for all eternity.
Time to get birched by the Krampus.
So she refuses to tell him all of those names, and he says that she's his now, and so that anyone who's ever touched her before has to burn now. Like, no, my guy, she's not going to do that. So he flips her over, and then he spanks her. He demands to spank her 2 times for each man she was with before him, which is a total of 12 spanks for 6 dudes. So he spanks her ass and pussy a bunch of times. She's loving all of this again.
Yeah. It was actually 10. It was actually 11.
72 dudes.
Every dude.
Just keep going. Please don't stop. Spanking my pussy.
There was Jerry and other Jerry B and Jerry P and Jim and just keep going. Anyway,
Jim.
She ran out of names.
Sure.
She's distracted.
She is. She's very distracted, getting slapped all those times.
Pussy.
So she begs for his cock, and he tells her that she can have it if she can handle the full girth of his tongue first. And then he transports them directly to hell so that they can fuck in hell. Just for a change of scenery. Just like, welcome. This is hell. I'm a fuck you here now. Well, how nice. Thanks. I was getting cold. She's been naked for a while. It's Christmas. She's probably a little chilly. Go hang out in hell. How nice. So he lays her down to get started on warming her up to eat her out. And then things got weird.
Oh, wait, now?
Yeah, now they're weird.
After they went to hell. Not all that other stuff.
Nope.
Okay.
Now they're weird because his fur can apparently grow on command and is also prehensile, and he uses it to both restrain her and tease various parts of her body with his fur.
That's a lot.
That's so much, guy. At one point later in the book, he uses it to like cover her up so it looks like she's wearing a fur bikini. Like, it's fully malleable and moldable, but it's fur. That's a new one for me, and I like it. I love it.
It's good shit.
Get more creative. Come on, guys. Keep going. Keep going. So he uses his tongue to tease her, and he restrains her with his weird prehensile fur. And then he like rolls them over so that she's straddling him. She's not above his face, but she's sort of like above his chest area. And he eats her out. So he shoves his weird magic tongue in her. And then they literally use the word inflate in the book, which is the only way that I can explain it, because no other way makes sense to me.
Like an angioplasty.
Yes. So he sticks his tongue in her as far and as deep as it will go, and then he takes a huge breath, and then literal like the tongue gets bigger. So it's like a balloon, I guess. He literally forces air into it and it gets bigger until he has stretched her out like significantly. To the point where she's like, ouch. You're actually pushing on my bladder now. I don't know if I can keep control of my bladder. And he's like,
no, that's cool.
You're fine. It's time for you to come now. And she's like, no, I'm serious. I'm a piss on you. And he's like, go for it, babe. Like, what? So she comes and she does release something. It is never confirmed whether she pissed on Krampus or not. But should I
add piss play to the...
Oh, my Lord. I don't think so. Maybe
question mark?
Question mark. Piss play question mark. Water sports? Is that what it's called? Water sports question mark. So she looks into his eyes as she is coming above him like this, and she sees into his soul, which is like a thing that they can do apparently. And so he didn't mean for it to happen this time, but she does see into his soul, and she sees how much he loves her and admires her, and how very, very lonely he has been for the entirety of his godlike existence, because he's been alone this entire time. Oh my God, that's so cute. Then after all of that, she's like, okay, cock time now? Yes, please? And he's like, not yet. Oh. He manifests a stone throne, and he pulls her up to sit with him on it. This is where the fur bikini thing happens. And a dark elf brings Stan before the throne. Like he's black bagged, but it's very clearly Stan. Then Krampus has her name and summon any other man from her past who deserves to be punished. So the guy who took her virginity but was generally boring in bed and then eventually cheated on her. The guy who dated her just to try and steal her magic, and the guy who ran up a bunch of debt in her name. Those are the people that she's like, okay, you can bring those people to hell. Yeah. He asks her what their punishment should be. He manifests them. He just brings them. Congratulations. Here's all 4 of these dudes who wronged you.
He gets like the wrong version. Like, oh, no, we have the same name.
Yeah.
I don't know this.
Yeah. I'm going to need 2 forms of ID. Yeah. Please. Do you have any mail? Something? No, I mean like something from like the water company.
Proof of residence, a bill. Nothing? No.
Not a thing. So he asks her what their punishment should be, and she says to cut off Stan's dick and balls and roast them and serve them to him, and everyone else can watch while he eats, and while they watch, they can feel every ounce of pain they ever made her feel over and over again for all eternity. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there wasn't any indication that she was a nice person, but she came up with that real fast.
Like she'd been thinking about it for a while.
Yes.
For a while. And like, okay, so. And the Stan thing is new. That's fresh.
If somebody were to kidnap me and torture me because I told them that their dick was small because they lied to me about it, I too would want to cut off their dick and balls. Yeah. I just don't know that I would come up with it that fast.
Yeah. The good news for the other guys,
she's clever,
is it's a small meal.
Oh.
It won't take long.
Oh, that's true. Oh.
Get that thing down in one bite.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Just put it on a skewer. Yeah. A little toothpick.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be served with the ketchup made from his own blood, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, there you go. Oh. A whole new meaning to the term beanie weenie. I'm sorry. I'll move on because Carl is disturbed by this entire conversation at this point. I'm sure.
No.
So while the torture is being carried out on all of these dudes, Krampus takes her back to his home, which looks like if Santa was a dom. So it's like this really nice house. It's got wood paneling and like pine furniture and a crackling fire, and it's all decorated beautifully. And then there's just like a BDSM torture array in the corner on a big rack.
Yeah. I like that.
Big 4-poster bed with the fur bedspread and like white satin hangings. Flogger.
Right.
Fuck yes.
I love your use of the word array.
Array?
That was great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So Krampus pulls Natalia onto the bed and tells her to ride him until he is satisfied. So she does. And the sex scenes are really, really, really well written in this book. Like if I can tell you nothing else, this book is mostly porn and it's really well written. So you might as well go buy it and read the good porn.
Yeah.
So he is having her ride him so that she is in control because his cock is fucking gigantic, right? But also because he wants her to feel powerful in this moment, which is very cool. She goes for this ride. It's fantastic. However, in this scene, Siggy Shade described his dick by saying, "It's like a Christmas stocking stuffed full of meat." Siggy?
Siggy, no.
No. Don't make me get the spray bottle. That shit was wild. What the fuck? No.
Now,
like a stocking filled with meat?
Now,
Meat?
Now, is that better than steel wrapped in velvet?
Yes. It's better in that it is at least unique.
Oh. Yeah.
But it's still a Christmas stocking stuffed with meat. Meat.
Carl.
I can't.
Meat.
I don't know how else to stress this to you. It's a sausage. It's a giant sausage made inside a Christmas stocking is what it sounds like.
You know.
That's weird.
Meat.
Meat.
You've heard of it?
Have you ever heard of it? You're made of it.
You're made. That's gonna be the new campaign or advertising slogan from Big Meat.
Meat. You're made of it. Yes. Big Meat. Call us Big Meat. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Is this gonna be a?
Hi, this is Ted from Big Meat.
It's gonna be a 1099 job. Is this a contract thing? Or?
You'll never have to work again. We're gonna pay you in beef.
There's the guy that came up with the Big Meat slogan.
Oh my God, it's Big Meat.
What's that, Big Meat?
Hey!
Show me your Big Meat.
Eats for free at every Angus steakhouse. And the Red Lobster. They're technically meat.
Go to fucking Ruth's, Chris. Your money's no good here, sir. You're Big Meat.
You're Big Meat. Oh my God, is that Big Meat?
Yeah, I heard he kicked Abe Froman's ass.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay, I'm crying. Let's get back to our book about the Krampus now, shall we? Instead of talking about Big Meat some more.
I really needed to get that Abe Froman reference in so that we could secure. It's getting late, and I wanted to secure the nomination for best podcast that referenced Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
What is that from? Is that a streamy? What is that?
No, it's just an award I made up in my head.
Oh, okay, sure. Well,
I wish.
Then you win. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's us, and it's Mark Maron.
All right. So after the sex, after the actual ride, there is a very sweet pillow talk scene where he tells her about his time living in the dungeon, and she tells him about her childhood growing up in a group foster care, and then her adult life is a very lonely IT witch, basically. And then they agree that they never have to feel alone ever again because now they have each other. They've come to a silent mutual agreement to be together forever.
Just a solemn
Awesome.
nod.
Yep, they just agree.
The Grizzly Adams nod gif.
And then another fantastic line. I just had to put it in my notes. Krampus didn't just fill my pussy. He also filled my heart. That sound is Carl hitting his forehead with his microphone.
Wow.
So good.
Wow. I can't believe that we've been together as long as we have, and you've never said that to me. That's really upsetting.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I I wish I could be as eloquent as Siggy Shade.
All you've given me is 2 beautiful children and a wonderful marriage.
Yep, but never once.
Never once.
Have I said that you have equally filled 2 different parts of my body?
Yeah.
No.
Nice. Way to delicately dance around not saying that.
Yeah. Hey. So this beautiful moment between them is interrupted when Bardolph starts ramming into the house in irritation.
Notoriously curmudgeonly animals.
Seriously. So Krampus goes out to calm down the moose. And
I'll
then
be right back. I gotta
go
calm down this moose.
I'll be right back. I gotta go hang out with my moose. My moose buddy. And then suddenly, right after he leaves, suddenly the hottest man Natalia has ever seen is standing at the end of the bed dressed like Father Christmas. And he says, ho, ho, ho. This is Klaus. And he has come to see if she is enjoying her Christmas present, because every year she would write to Santa and ask him for a man with a big dick. And he finally delivered. Dear Santa, I just want to get railed by a stovepipe. What the fuck, Natalia?
All right, imagine Lincoln's hat. But make it a cock. That's...
Have you ever seen a blue whale?
Okay, start there. Good starting point.
Yes.
I want a cock so big that it smothers me. I want it to look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa finally gave in and landed on me. Can we start there?
Yep. Dear Santa.
Yeah.
Fucking ruin me.
Just send me an obelisk.
Gross. Wonderful. Both. Neither. I don't know. So she starts talking to Klaus, and she's basically... She's cold and aloof the entire time. She's mad at him. She hates him. He kept her soulmate locked in a dungeon for 90 years. She's not cool with that. He argues that he thought he was doing the right thing because every child deserves the opportunity to change their ways and become a better person. And she says, "Hey, maybe if you let Krampus do his job, my parents wouldn't have died in Wizard World 4 when basically Wizard Hitler killed thousands of innocent witches and wizards."
So you mean Wizard War?
Wizard World War 4.
Okay, you said Wizard World 4.
Sorry, Wizard World War 4.
Okay. I was like, I've been to Wizard World several times, and I don't remember anybody dying.
No, or is it just Wizard War 4? Wizard War 4, maybe. Either way, Wizard Hitler killed her parents, and if the Krampus had just beaten Wizard Hitler with a bunch of sticks when he was a child, then maybe that wouldn't have happened.
Oh.
And Klaus is like, yeah, you're right.
My bad.
I see now that some people just need a beating or to go to hell. Okay, fine, I get it. And then I think he hits on her. I couldn't tell if Santa was being a skis or not.
Okay.
But either way, she shuts him down flat because she's incredibly loyal to Krampus. And he's like, okay, good. I'm really glad that I picked the right person for my brother. He puts a hand...
That was a test and you passed. Ho, ho, ho.
That was a test. You don't get my candy cane cock and hot chocolate cum.
I would have totally fucked you if you tried, though.
Aw, how nice of you, Santa Claus. So he puts a hand on her shoulder and suffuses her with warmth and light and all of his special Santa magic. And then at this point he also magically dresses her in a white nightgown and heals all of her injuries, including the injuries from the Krampus beating and the giant dick.
I was gonna say she might need a little
Yeah. She doesn't notice that until later, but he does magic all of that and that at that moment. And the reason she doesn't notice it when he does it is because that's the moment that Krampus comes back into the room. He sees Klaus touching Natalia. He grabs her, puts her in a corner, puts up a magical force field, and then he just beats Santa's ass. Beats his ass.
We've all wanted to beat Santa's ass at some point in our lives.
I swear.
Krampus went for it.
Oh, he's pissed. He was pissed enough already because he's been locked in the dude's dungeon for the last 90 years, but he touched his girlfriend. and he's not having that.
It's a fight on sight.
It's a fight on sight, man. So he gores him with his horns, like in his chest. He like slashes his face with his claws. He clocks him a couple of times. I think he spits out a couple of teeth. Like it was violent, and I was like, whoa, okay, well, yeah, he's the Krampus, so it's fine. It is what it is. And the whole time, Santa's trying to back away and be like, brother, I didn't mean to cause a fight. You see that it was I who tampered with the naughty list to get Natalia. Like, I think he was trying to, like wrap it all up in a nice bow and, like, have a nice little, like, reunion and, like, hug moment. No, he just got kicked out on his tail in the snow because Krampus is not fucking around. But you pissed him off.
I did this for you.
I did this for you. Yeah. No. So Krampus shuts the door behind Klaus as he flies out, turns around, and tells Natalia that now it's time for her punishment because she dared to let someone else touch her, basically. She argues on her own behalf, and he's not having any of that. But this is a BDSM scene. Like, it's just like they never discussed it. Mm-hmm. So it's a magical, fictitious BDSM scene, but this is the foreplay of a scene. He is punishing her for something that he doesn't really think she needs to be punished for.
Okay.
Because it's part of the fun for her. So he starts playing with her nipples, and then he notices that there is a hole in her nipple. And she's like, oh, yeah, I have nipple piercings. I actually have a lot of piercings. I just don't have any of the jewelry in right now. And then he's like, full dom mode. Here's what's going to happen now. Let's talk about some safe words because it's gonna get real. And she's like, okay, sounds good. And then he has her. So in order, she climbs naked on her hands and knees onto the kitchen table. He uses magic to call decorations from around the house and threads silken thread through her nipple and belly button piercings to hang ornaments from her. He eats her ass with his magical tongue until she comes and is stretched enough to put a butt plug shaped like a Christmas tree in her ass. The base of which lights up like Rudolph's nose.
Oh, God.
Then he flips her on her back, knees to tits.
Okay.
So that he can decorate her clitoral and labial piercings. It's described, I just wrote it down because I can't picture this in my head, but it sounds like a lot. 2 sets of red ribbons weave between my labia piercings attached to stars and silver bells. At the top is a sprig of mistletoe. And the mistletoe sort of just like hovers like right above her clit.
Yeah.
He's trussed her up. I don't like. Okay, she loves this, and I'm glad she loves this. It sounds great. I just can't picture it to save my life, because when you say like labia piercings, well, you can pierce anywhere along either the labia minora or the labia majora. Where are the piercings? Where are the holes? When you say clitoral piercing, is it the hood? Is it like above? Is it like
I'll draw you a picture.
You're gonna draw me a picture? Okay, cool. So like, all I know for sure is that when he he uses his magic to tighten the ribbons and it pulls her open. Yeah. So whatever it is that he's doing, he's made some kind of Christmas contraption for fucking.
I was gonna say it's almost like
he calls it his Christmas cunt, by the way. Beautiful.
That's way funnier than what I was gonna say.
Oh. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No. That's way funny. Like I said, what Siggy wrote is funnier than what I was going to say on the podcast about that book. It's fine. I'm totally okay with that.
Totally okay with it. Okay. So then he does fuck her, but she is hesitant because she gets a good look at the dick again, and she's like, I don't know, my guy. That's a lot of dick.
That's
a lot of dick.
Careful what you wish for.
And he says, no, don't worry about it. So when Klaus touched you, because he's a goody two shoes, I'm guessing he like magically prepared you so you don't have to worry about it anymore. So did Santa Claus rearrange her pussy is my question.
This is if so, this is huge. This is the second time this has happened on an episode of Cheap Smut.
Huge if true. Santa Claus will rearrange your pussy if you need him to.
Yeah. Put that on your list, folks.
Dear Santa.
If you got a vagina.
If you got a vagina and you're trying to fuck something huge.
Yeah.
Like just huge. And you're like, I know this isn't safe, but I wanna.
I'd
You
also
go write it in the letter to Santa.
Dear Santa, please enlarge my pussy. I'd also like a hydro flask, unrelated.
Several 2 liters of Faygo Red Pop, also unrelated.
I don't live in Michigan anymore. I can't get this.
I just need it. I just want it, and I can't get it here. It's so good. Rock and rye. Oh man.
I want it after I stick not that hydro flask in my newly large pussy.
No, I just need you to magically enlarge my pussy. Dear Santa, please magically enlarge my pussy. Oh my God, I'm done. Okay, I'm gonna die. I'm done. All right. So the sex is once again fantastic because Siggy Shade writes sex really well, apparently. They also connect souls, but purposefully this time they look into each other's eyes and see into each other's souls while they are orgasming. Like, just come on, man. Come on. Every orgasm they have with each other is better than the last one. Sounds great. I'm so glad for you guys. So after this scene is over, he carries her to bed and he curls up with her and he asks if she will take his mark, which is a magical sigil that will allow her to call him to her side at any time or come to his side at any time. She will be his devotee basically because he's a god, but it's not really like she's going to worship him. And also if she is marked with his sigil, she will never age and never die. So cool. And that will allow her to live her her normal mortal life for as long as she wants until she eventually decides to come and live full time with him at the North Pole when she's done being like a regular person.
Yeah.
And she wants to, be the immortal queen of the Krampus. She agrees. He very lightly scratches the rune into her skin. They are so very in love. It's beautiful and adorable. And it happened in one night because this is like dawning Christmas morning. It happened in one night. And wow. I love that shit. So that is the end of the book. There is an epilogue. Naturally. 5 years later, Natalia is finishing emptying her apartment and saying goodbye as she moves up north to live with the Krampus full time. His sigil has given her more power than the average witch, enough power to carry his child. She is now pregnant with a demigod.
Oh, wow.
And it is Christmas Eve. When he is done with his work, quote unquote, he will come and pick her up and take her home with him. He calls her and she's like, finish up what you're doing. I'm almost done. He's got one more kid to punish.
He's got to go beat one more kid.
She's like, great, get done with that so that you can come fuck me some more. And 10 seconds later, he's standing directly in front of her. And she's like, what about your job? And he's like, nothing I was going to do. No amount of beating that kid was going to make him not a serial killer. So I just sent him to hell. It's fine. Let's go home. And indeed, they do. And they all lived hornily ever after. The end.
Wow.
Dun 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 dun.
That is up there. That joins the pantheon of the weird. I mean, we're closing in on the end of the first year of this show.
Yes.
And that definitely is. I would put that in the top 3. I'd put that up there with Bisexual Mothman, Mailman, and Unhinged.
As in terms of
the weird, the weirdest.
Yes. Well, I would argue that Siggy Shade, Chuck Tingle, and Vera, although maybe less Vera because of her other series, are all in the same class.
Oh yeah,
of smut writer.
And how could I forget Latrexanova's Nova's Monster Mash?
And Latrexanova.
Oh my God, that was such a fun time.
Yeah.
Shout out to guest Erin Callahan.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was such a great episode.
I had such a good time with her. It was so fun. But yeah, so Siggy Shade, Latrexa, Chuck Tingle, these are all to me the same caliber of writer writing the same kind of book.
Like weirdo smut.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I
wholeheartedly and fully loving smut and making it weird.
Yeah. And there's nothing at all wrong with that.
Absolutely not.
Make it weird as long as everybody's happy.
Yes. Absolutely. As long as everybody is feeling good about it and you're celebrating love.
I'm into love and I'm into happiness. What are you into?
What am I into? This week I am into my family. I'm going to get a little schmaltzy. You mentioned earlier my family Christmas party that's coming up this weekend. I have been looking forward to this party for weeks. It's one of my favorite things to do every single year. I love my family Christmas party because I love that part of I love my entire family, but that part of my family, my father's side of the family, is huge and loud and in your business and tight knit. And I can't wait to see them all. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see them too. Yeah. What are you into, baby?
I have gone back and forth. I've been bopping around in my brain, and I didn't want to do another video game because I did a video game last week. But I'm really into Dave the Diver. I enjoy very much playing Dave the Diver. It is a fantastic little game from a studio called Mint Rocket, and it mixes so many mechanics and different games. It's a sim, like a restaurant management game. It's an exploration game. It's a resource management game. You play a guy named Dave who is a diver, and by day you dive into the blue hole. It's this weird body of water somewhere on the planet where all the fish on the planet somehow appear. Mm-hmm. You go catch these fish, and then by night you help run a sushi restaurant serving sushi that was made from the fish that you caught during the day. Yep. It sounds weird. It is, but it's magnificent, and it's fun, and it's funny, and I got it on my Switch so I can take it wherever I go. I have to travel for work next week, so I'll be putting in some serious Dave the Diver time. But Dave the Diver is what I'm into this week.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful, baby. I'm so glad. I got that game too, but I haven't played it yet. Yeah. Not really. I played like 10 minutes of it, so I cannot make a judgment.
I highly encourage. I'd say I'd put about 3 hours into it by now. I highly encourage you to give it a shot.
I would love to.
Anything else you've got for us?
I don't think so. This was a fun episode.
Oh God, it was.
I really enjoyed making this, but I am tired now, so I'm gonna go ahead and look up what our next episode is about while you do the closer.
You can find us on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at Cheap Smut. If you would like to email us, you can do so, cheapsmutpod@gmail.com. If you would like to communicate with us and other listeners in real-ish time, join the Smutco Industries Discord. The link is in the show notes. If you also look further down in the show notes, you'll see our link tree. Click on that, and at the very top is a link to this book. It is not an affiliate link. We don't get paid for it. We're just trying to help the author out. The song that you hear in this and every episode is called Nostalgia by Mackay Beats. You can find it along with thousands of other songs free of charge for you to use at the Free Music Archive, freemusicarchive.org. And for some reason, the whole time I was saying all of that, my brain was going, where's the music?
You haven't put it in yet.
I haven't put it in yet. Well, I mean, I have now, and so it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm recording this.
Oh,
I'm like, every time I hear...
Time is so confusing.
It is. Speaking of time, what are we reading next week?
Next week, I am very excited to read Not Alone on Christmas by D.M. Winters.
And that will be our second to last book for the year.
Yes, and it will be coming out on Christmas Day, which will be very nice. It is a very sweet little novella. It's short and spicy, and it will be a fantastic way to end our holiday rush, our horny holiday rush, and hopefully give you guys something nice to listen to on Christmas while everybody's like calmed down between the presents and the food.
Yeah, we're dropping an episode on Christmas Day.
Yeah, man.
Right in your stocking.
Yeah. Right in your Krampus stocking.
Right in your Krampus sausage stocking.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, God. Listener, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she will come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
Now, goodbye.
Bye-bye.